just got an extra $175 million in revenue, and we notice you're not using it to cut spending, and we notice you're not using it to cut your tax increases. Thank you very much. Your billion is now cut by $175 million. That's the first thing I would do.
Well,
I think it's a tragic mistake that he's made in negotiating right
and
now.
I was going to ask a variation of that because I guess Representative Cafero accepted. There seems to be a lot of skepticism about the ability to negotiate that number. So my question was, why would you view it as unreasonable not to apply the increased revenue estimates and basically hold it in abeyance to see where you end up? But you're saying it's just giving away negotiating strategy.
Here's what I guess I don't understand. If the governor was willing to come out the other day with his, quote, doomsday budget to show what spending cuts would be like if he wasn't able to achieve union concessions, why isn't he able to do the same kind of thing with this additional revenue? In other words, say, if I'm not able to achieve spending, I'm going to take this additional revenue and do something with it. I would hope he'd say, I'd at least lessen my tax package. He's not said that. So he's willing to extrapolate or theorize on what might happen if the unions don't come forth on the spending side. But when he gets extra revenue, he's not willing to sort of predict what he might do on the tax side. Which goes to my point again. This governor came out with a framework, a defined definition. He ain't budgeting off of $1.9 billion worth of taxes, and he's not cutting any more spending, period, end of story.
And you know what, we have consistently said that the governor's call for $1 billion in concessions is both aggressive but achievable. And we believe that because we believe and have been saying the same thing we think this governor believes, and we applaud him on this fact. This is not just a 2-year issue. This is about the sustainability of the state of Connecticut over the next 10 to 20 years. And the fact that the pension and benefits for state employees are simply unaffordable, that's the 2-year problem, and unsustainable. That's the 10 to 20-year problem. And this governor, I believe, is not just about fixing that 2-year problem in those $1 billion concessions. He's about fixing the long-term problem. That's why it is so critical that he gets the $1 billion, and that's why we believe he can and should get it.
You guys keep saying 1.9 billion. Can you break that down, please?
1.5 goes to the state.
It was 1.6 billion when you added the general fund and special transportation fund.
The provider tax is over $300 million.
Exactly.
It's called a provider tax.
Okay.
It's a new tax on hospitals. That's a tax increase. He
That's
does not put
that
it
as a revenue.
He does not put it in his tax package.
Yeah.
You can call anything you want anything you want. It's called a provider tax. It's a new tax increase on hospitals that does not exist. That's a tax increase.
Okay.
No, and also, there's another point to that, another deviation. 1.9, the higher number that's coming to the state, is because the governor in his budget also changes the law to allow taxes, not to allow, to mandate taxes that municipalities get to collect. But you see, that's the difference when you formulate a budget. You can either do it from an institution's perspective, state government versus municipal government, as the governor claims he does with regard to property tax. I will not cut municipal aid because it potentially could force a property tax cut. We should be formulating budgets from the perspective of the people we serve and that live here. Because to the person who lives here, that is not a $1.5 billion budget to the state and a $0.4 billion budget to the municipalities. It's all coming out of the same pocket. That's why it's 1.9